We're live. Hi. Hi, buddy. You're a dork. Thank you. Ripley is excited to be a part of the stream too. But anyways, listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. For people that are watching this later, real quick, I'm actually gonna come over here and grab some paper towel. See if I can clean this lens a little bit. Hear this better? I don't even know anymore. I didn't hook up any of the other lights in here at the moment. Well, we're gonna flip you around. Okay. Hopefully, problem solved. Because actually, got them underneath the table right now because I was doing a bunch of cleaning. So I was just like, yeah, we'll just a little quick stream, just to kind of give a little update of what things have been going on. But hey, Neo Main, hey Studios, hey Art. So essentially, what has happened? Decided a few weeks ago to redo the basement windows. Problem is, it's just Artez helped me one day to get all the windows out and kind of back in place, but he's got his own things to do. So the rest of the windows just been me when I get some spare time. I've been kind of working on them a little by little, and so everything was put in. The other day, got pretty much the rest of the windows pretty much set with the cement and what have you. And then a few days ago, actually, I gotta flip you guys around, but I actually built a little, because around here was probably the worst section if I was going to try to just fix it with like cement and such. And because it was already drywalled and yada yada, I wanted to actually make it, encase it in, so I could actually use this as a shelf, which I couldn't previously, because it was whoever built this originally, it was very makeshift. So it still had like the slab, and it wasn't, in the way the window was designed, you just couldn't put anything on it. But now that I had a lot of empty space there, really thought it'd be a good idea to be able to put some stuff there. I might still put some caulk up there. I'm not 100% yet. I probably will, just to fill it in on the tops there. What's the best NECA alien figure? Ooh, good one. I'll sit down and try to answer this one. Used to be the AVP aliens, I would say, are my favorite, but over time, I've had some issues with loose jointness on them. These guys here. Or my lighting's kind of good. The Grid Alien. I still really love the designs of these, and especially if you can get the Grid Alien from the Versus 2-pack, which is this one. Even though I accidentally think my Predator ended up in the garbage during a move. That was from this set, which wasn't my favorite Predator, to be honest, so I'm not super upset. I used to really like these guys, but the heads really like to fall off this one pretty easily. And then the leg joints have always been kind of, they're very floppy, so it's hard to get them to pose. Because you can see, like, I'm moving. Okay, didn't do that. There we go. If you move the one leg, it'll move the other, and they're just like the most obnoxious thing to kind of pose. And take a minute. I honestly have been really liking the new Scorched Alien from Romulus. Has been really good. Yeah, thankfully a lot of the aliens that I got, they don't have too much. They're not too damaged. I've had to fix a couple of things, but it's mainly like the tubes popped off because of the glue. I haven't really had too many like broken joint issues outside of those stupid fire team ones. Those things, avoid those at all costs. The alien fire team ones, those were. Ugh. I would have loved to have owned them, but NECA really didn't want me owning those. They were not the great, but yeah, even I've had to. This is like one of the aliens I actually had to repair because knocking things off. We finally get this set up, and I'm already breaking stuff. Or not breaking, knocking things over. But the new Scorched Alien is really sweet. The only thing you gotta be careful of is the tail's pretty easy to pop off. That's what I had to deal with. So I had to reinsert the tail. But the Scorched Alien is pretty dope. Yeah, like a lot of the early Predators, I don't even own anymore. The oldest Predators I have are the AVP ones, which is when they moved to the ultimate, like the ultimate style bodies. Those haven't been bad. I've had to repair. What's your name? It's one with the skulls. It's Celtic Scar, and hmm. Yeah. Well, to be fair, the ones I had, I didn't really open up out of the package too much, so I didn't. I don't have too much experience posing those guys around. Chopper, that's it. Yes, I was like, it's something in my head. It's something with the C. I think a Scorcher for a second. I was like something. But yeah, oh yeah. So window wise, the other thing I had to do, I'm not gonna be able to get too close because you'll see the old windows hanging out there. But I just re-cemented these back in because like they don't need to be super pretty. And as you can see, like out here, the basement isn't finished. So I just fixed up the because this is all like cinder blocks right here. So just re-cemented just so there wasn't like giant holes so underneath the window and just to make it look clean. And you'll see over there, like that window I had to redo. And the one in the utility room. So every single window's been done. They're all sliding windows. So you can open them. Except for this is the one I kept as a full ingress window, so that entire window comes up. So just in case of something, hi puppy. She likes to take advantage as soon as I sit down to try to get on my lap. You are the neediest puppy in the whole wide world. Hi, thank you. I know. You're so cuddly. Look. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Oh yeah, your ears perked up. You want to say hi? Yeah. All right, Billy. She's being a dork. Hey, Hawk, stop. No, I haven't yet. I haven't seen them. And to be fair, I've been kind of broke because of a certain figure that's currently hanging out on my table. So I can't even remotely look at anything until payday. And I said I was broke, and then I still, oddly enough, Monster High is making an alien figure. So I was able to snag one of those before they sold out. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but I thought it'd be a fun one to get for a video. Because it's pretty much a Disney princess doll. Yes, we do have a lot of figures here. This is just my office too. Like, my office is pretty much full of figures. You might be able to see going out the basement, but you'll see dinosaurs there. My wife has taken over my basement, so all our Jurassic Park stuff is all pretty much the basement, and then like the vintage dinosaurs. No, I haven't gotten rid of it. Nobody's inquired about it. I might put it up on eBay. I don't want to put it up on eBay. I'd rather like give somebody a deal on it, make my life easier. Nope, still hanging out. Which is kind of funny. Like I know a lot of people aren't super into the X pluses. At least that pertain to what we do around here, because we're more like action figures and statues. And even Bandai vinyls, but this thing's a banger. It's an old X Plus. I want to say it came out, I think 99, 2000, around there. I still have the copyright dates. It says 99. But the scale on it is, it's a slightly smaller than the Monster Arts, but this thing has just been like my current placeholder for that figure. Because I didn't, like I said, I was already on the, I was hard pressed to believe that Monster Arts was going to give us a Legion. So this was like the next best thing to go with it. And it's also not an easy one to get a hold of either. So I'm surprised nobody's tried to take that off my hands just to, again, since maybe they can't afford the Monster Arts Legion, so it's like next best thing. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I was 86. That's how old I am. More than likely, they'll probably be ones I'll wait to actually find. I don't think I'm going to pre-order any of them, but if I see them, I'll grab them. What the heck? What are you guys doing?
No, no play fighting in the office, you two. Yes, you. She's like, but daddy, he smacked me.
I know. My poor carpet. There's like the burn mark from when I worked on the what you call it, the Douglas Gordon figure. Because my brain was like, oh yeah, if I put it, I'll just sit it on the floor with a heat gun pointed right at it. Yeah, nothing bad will happen. Which is, I would say, predicted. We were hopeful. Because out of all the monsters that they could make, Legion was the one I wanted the most. Yeah, Servo's always like super nonchalant about it. It's funny when they're playing though, because like he'll just like he lightly bats at her, but once in a while there's a nail involved. But yeah, no, he loves to play with the puppy. Oh, 84 ain't too bad though. Oh, the Godzilla con? Probably not, unless somebody like commissions another one. It would definitely wouldn't be. It would be one I wouldn't mind doing. Again, like especially if somebody wanted to do like a legendary version. Well, because that one was more Heisei, like Heisei Ishii. So far I've been really enjoying it. I would the only nitpick I got, mainly it's just because it's a heavy figure, but it likes to pop apart. Especially the leg, one of the legs and the waist really like to come off easy on the thing. I could flip it around. But there she is. Like I said, I just didn't bother putting my studio lights up today. But she is hanging out. But it's about as posable as I thought it was going to be. I know sometime, maybe this week or next week, I'm probably going to try to make a beam for her. Try to get it scanned in. I also still got to start working on a Springtrap figure I got to start printing. So I'm going to hopefully get around to that this week. I'm trying to figure out what my printer's been acted up. It's still good enough to print, but I'm just wasting a lot of resin doing it, so I've been trying to avoid it. But yeah, no, the Legion is super dope. Even just to kind of show it next to that X Plus in terms of size. Like I said, the Legion is like where the heads are, it's about the same, but like this thing is just so much chunkier than this one. With the especially with the blade on top sticks out so much higher. But like I said, compared next to them, like that one still works, I think, pretty well. But she's got way more presence to her, which I really like. Oh, Godzilla Five Nights at Freddy's story? That'd be an interesting one. Be a fun figure to make. Pretty much just take a Godzilla and just kind of like split it apart and just put like the animatronic like joints in between. I haven't seen that they're. Oh, I have a hard time believing it'd be $80 though, especially with the cost of things now. It'd be cool, but yeah, I have a hard time believing that she's gonna be $80. Be neat though. No, the OG Gamma release is good enough for me. I don't really have much of a reason to be picking up the new one. Like I said, I'm good with having like one version of the particular monster. So I just get my favorite one. Haya is pretty much my like. I have like my regular versions of Monster Arts, and high I'm getting the Spitfires. It does look like a Scythe and Legion's head, as it should, with their giant crest thing there. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the 2000 to show up. I'm excited for that one. Out of all the higher protos, Scar King, of course. That's the one I want the most at the moment. And I think a lot of it too is just I don't have a good Scar King, so I'm hoping that one's gonna be it. All the other ones, I already have like some version of them in the collection, so I'm not like frothing at the mouth to get a hold of them. Like Legion was one of those ones. Like the best one I had was the Revoltech, which was broken. And it didn't scale with anything I had. So it was a good figure, but didn't really work well. Then I like the X Plus, but now the Monster Arts is just like, ah. Like I said, commission wise, yeah, I don't mind. We can always work it out. Just if you guys are ever curious about commissions and whatnot, the Etsy shop is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Or I have links in the description for like the Instagram and Facebook. But the Etsy works really well. Like I mentioned too, if you guys are anyone's interested in picking this guy up, you can message me on the Etsy about it. I would like 185 shipped, which I think is a pretty fair price for it. Looking on eBay, because eBay it's like she's like 200 plus shipping around there. But I'd rather get it out of here, so I don't mind taking a little bit of a hit. But if you got anyone's interested, they'll be up on the Etsy shop, just message me. I can't post it on the Etsy because I can't sell figures, but it's the best way to get like straight message me. Hard to have an opinion. I don't have any of them. Like I have the original 99, but I don't have the new one. I think the new one looks really good. But it's probably going to be one of those things. If it's anything like the 91, and I'm still waiting to get my freaking Atomic 91. I ordered that thing on Big Bad and I've been slightly regretting it because I'm still waiting for that thing. The website Etsy. I think there should be a link in the description. Worst case. Or like I said, just hit the Etsy shop, just the Geek Chest. You can even just Google it. I would say if I wasn't live streaming with the phone, I would just add it to the chat. But yeah, no, the Etsy shop is probably the best place still. But yeah, so anyways, we'll flip back to the front real quick. But we got everything back to being set up. I did organize it a little bit better. Like you'll see the RoboCop stuff I moved around. And then the Queens moved around too. Because pretty much since I've been here, the Queen has been like facing towards that back corner where I just kind of have some storage back there. So I finally have her like facing outward. And then I have all the alien stuff here. The Predators I've moved down. And then the Terminator is kind of like hiding in the corner with the Ghostbuster figures. And then it's the Lost in Space. And then I kind of kept everything Power Range, like Sentai-esque right here. So it's all the Power Rangers, VR Troopers kind of mixed in there, Superhuman, my random Bubble Bath. And then it's Turtles. All Turtles all the time now. And that's Last Ronin on the bottom shelf. And then everything else is kind of littered a little bit. But at least kind of kept some uniformity with there. Oh, 98 be cool. Yeah, you probably just use, like I said, a Bandai vinyl. Use like the Gundam joints like I use for other stuff, but you wouldn't actually hide the Gundam joints if you're going to be doing that. And you actually, I would almost like kind of want to elongate them just a little bit to make it look like the rods going into the arm. Like the arms would be like foam, but it would just be like the Godzilla skin. I think it'd be sweet. And then turtles are back up there. Here, I kind of flip-flopped the way these were originally because it was Gargoyles and then Spider-Man. I put the Spider-Man stuff up there. It's still all the Spawn stuff hangs out there. The top's a bit more littered with the Star Wars things. And then the Star Wars shelf is all put back together. That's mostly the same as what it was previously. But on a fun note, I do got a spot for the Batmobile. It's finally hanging out somewhere. Same with like the Lost of Space guns, just not hiding in a corner. Kind of got sitting there. I got to get some curtains to stick in there just so I don't have to worry about the light fading. But there's pretty much like another house, like not like there's probably like maybe like 15, 20 feet in between this house and the next one, so it doesn't get much light in there. This one's probably the worst because when the sun's coming down, the light will come in through there. As per the facing of my house, the sun rises that way and comes down that way. So anything there would probably get like the worst with the lighting. But now that I made it a fully enclosed, it'll be easier to get curtains in there too than what was there previously. I think that's pretty much about it. Got all the floor cleaned up. Got this cabinet kind of put back together. Things are standing because a lot of the stuff got knocked over. The prototype custom shelf, a couple of guys are hanging out there. I had to move a few things around up there because they fell over while I was hammering things. Thankfully, nothing broke. There's Daffy just kind of hanging out there. Critter's currently outside in the car still. He's been driving around me for the month of October. I wouldn't say it's super complicated. It'd probably be about as bad as doing like a normal custom that I do, like a fully articulated, like turning one of those Bandai vinyls into a fully articulated. It'd be like I said, there's mostly the same process. Honestly, maybe it'd be a little bit easier because I wouldn't have to worry about hiding as much stuff with epoxy putty. So yeah, honestly, I don't think it would be that bad. It looked creepy, which I think would be the fun thing. Hey, Mark. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But get back to the Monster Arts Haya thing, where I think I would like the Monster Arts more, but it's gonna be hard to really vouch for the price compared to the Haya. Is I think. Because like I said, I love the 91 Monster Arts. I think it's really good. And the Haya, I don't really like like I said, the face I'm not still sold on. I have to wait till I don't want to really fully bash on it unless I have it in person. But everything else about it seems like it probably is like it's less posable, but probably just as posable, theoretically, as the Monster Arts. So it's like, for the price difference, you're pretty much paying just for a better looking head. At least to me. I feel like that's mostly the same gist with the, probably going to be with the 2000. Take a look at it. We'll talk about a lot of random things. Usually a fully custom, like turning a Bandai vinyl into a fully articulated figure, you're usually like looking at around 150 to 200, depending on what I gotta do. Problem is, what would bump the cost up a little bit is because we'd have to order joints for it. So then it'd have to be whatever the joint cost is going to be plus you'd probably still be looking at about like 150. Because like I said, thinking in my head, I'd have to look over a little more, but I wouldn't have, like I said, have to do as much with like epoxy. So sculpting wise, I don't really have to do that much. It would just be cutting it, getting it set up for joints, and then figuring out how to make the joints look more animatronic-y. Yeah, for a FNAF custom. Like I said, for the fully posables, it's usually like 150 to 2 depending. Like on a normal Godzilla size monster. And that's if I can reuse joints from like my bin of broken things. Oh, but the FNAF figures, well, at least the Funko figures suck. I don't know about the new ones because the new ones come with the endoskeleton, which would actually maybe help a bit. The problem is that as shape wise, especially for Zilla, I don't know how much of it you could reuse. You could probably still use a lot of it. It'd mainly be the head and the tail. The tail would be kind of funny though, because I think the tail would look like one of those like those old like fish toys. Want to do it like something like that. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Like having each tail kind of on a hinge, so it wouldn't really pose, but they would just kind of like it would just kind of go side to side. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, that might work. The other thing is, the mecha. Well, it'd be chunky. I think it would be the only thing with the bootleg mecha. If anything would work, you know what would probably is actually finding like one of like these guys, like the Terminators. Oh, that looks sweet. I got that perfect angled. With the light piping. But these guys would probably work pretty well. At least for limb purposes. Limbs and bodies. This would actually be pretty solid for Azula, I would think, because you'd still like you'd get the like the pistons on the side and everything would be really cool. So you use like the Zilla upper torso and then kind of cut it there. Oh, I didn't see the okay, yeah, you did. I just saw Crazy's comment and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, this would actually work pretty well. And I don't think they're that expensive to get a hold of. Just maybe not this one in particular. Because this one's the toy version. He might be a little more expensive. But I think like a generic Terminator endoskeleton probably wouldn't be too bad to get. If you were doing the got like the Zilla Freddy's. Oh, that'd be for Zilla because it's everything's really thin on it, so it wouldn't be hard to use. Like you take the Bandai Vinyls parts and like slide it over the arms, swap out the hands, maybe keep the hands actually. I don't know on that one, but yeah, like I said, you slide the like the arms over the limbs. You have to cut the chest. Yeah, like you definitely have to cut the chest apart, but still make that work pretty cool. And then you use the legs for you can do the same thing with the legs, slide it over. Like you'd have to rebuild the head. I think would be the big thing. Yeah, Fight Night to Zillas. Actually, I'd want to reuse a lot of that. Actually, like just have like Zilla's chest kind of covering this, and just keep the like the arm bits exposed, and then have like the dorsal spines along the back piece here. Hey, Guggen. Yeah, they sell tuna instead of pizza. Yeah, that could be a fun one. The only thing is, like, these joints are not the best at holding weight. I would assume. Oh, the only other one I could also think of working. I don't. If I can get them. They're kind of old, and I've had to repair these ones, so I don't know how best of options these would be too. But the poor guys, NECA did these guys a while back, like a long time ago. Like this was like my original house, my first house that we moved into. I've had these since then. Yeah, I heard about that. Super bummer. I wasn't that much into Kiss growing up, but I loved the Detroit Rock City. Such a good song. If you're doing if I was gonna do it, I would probably want to make it look like the movie, only because you could try to make it to look like like it's the actual like Godzilla animatronic from the movie, but it's like dilapidated. I think is what you'd be trying to go for. Oh, nice. What you gonna try to repaint it to? Oh yeah, spawns. Water. Yeah, I got my custom ones hanging out on the top here with the medieval spawn that I put together. He actually has real chains. And then an old Mortal Kombat spawn that I remade the cape. Same with the Omega spawn. Remade his fur cape. Got the Kickstarter medieval spawn because medieval spawn is my favorite, and then just a bunch of the other guys hanging out. Random Marvel Legends figure because she was a small character kind of hanging out, and some older ones kind of just hiding in the back there. All back of the bus. Yeah, sort of like that, like the dilapidated one. I still want to get the if I had extra movie turtle body parts, I still want to get the mummy one because I would love to make a like ratty looking Michelangelo using the one with the really bad lips. Oh, it'd be so good. Not sure what we're asking how much on. If I do if I'm doing if I'm doing the customs, all you do is you send me the figure and I do everything. Um, so I would need like for this, I would need to get if we're gonna do the idea we're talking about, we would need a NECA Terminator. We're probably gonna still need some joints and a movie monster series Zilla. We would need each of those. But you can always message me more on if you truly interested. The Etsy shop, like I said, is usually the best way to get a hold of me for commissions like that. I actually just wrapped up one for an Ultraman kaiju. I'm actually going to get off here, go clear code them, and go to bed. Doesn't sound like a friend. Nah, everybody's got their own things, but like I like Ultraman. I think he's cool. Yep, like I said, just check out the Etsy shop. Like I said, a lot of the Stevie's custom monstrosity videos or the live streams should all have the same links. But anyways, I'm gonna have to let you guys go because my phone's about to die. It's at 3%, so we ain't got too much more to go on here. When did I first see Godzilla? Would have been what 1990. I first saw I got my Godzilla movie when I was 4, and then it's been an expensive ride since. But anyways, you can help us defeat those kaiju by hitting the like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, and Facebook. You guys like people that are trying to donate, greatly would appreciate it. Like I mentioned, we do have an Etsy shop. There should be a link in the description. Like I said, if you guys are interested and want a Legion to go with your Monster Arts Gamera or just a cool X Plus Legion figure, it's an older one. But you can message me on the Etsy about it. Like I said, I'm looking for 185 ship, but we can work something out. I think that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys are getting your collectibles and whatnot. Entertainment Earth, Cow Kiss, 6% off your order code Steve Cows. Check out for Cow Kiss if you guys are getting highest stuff. And then Entertainment Earth for most everything else. Anyways, see you guys. Bye-bye.